All right, class. So today we're going to go over help-seeking strategies for depression and mental disorders. But first, before we dive into that, we gotta learn what some of the disorders are and what their symptoms are. All right. So these disorders. All right. So stress has a big factor in causing these disorders. So when I go to these disorders, just think that stress is the reason. That's what causes them. All right. So the first disorder we're going to dive into is depression. All right, depression is just more than feeling sad. So if someone says, I'm depressed, I've been sad for a couple of days, they're not really depressed, they're just sad. All right, depression is feeling sad for long periods of times, which can be months or even years. All right, so some of the symptoms include, feeling sad, loss of interest, they have interest in something, and then they become depressed, they're not interested anymore, feeling hopelessness, feeling tired, unable to sleep at night, overeating, or not eating at all. So depression, it's a really common thing in teenagers, your guys' ages, and more than 19 million adults and teens in America suffer from depression. So it's a common disorder that happens among people your ages. All right, so the next disorder we're going to go over is the panic disorder, which is the panic disorders. It's sudden feelings of terror and panic in calm situations when there's no real danger. So someone who has panic disorder, they might freak out in a situation where it's not necessary to freak out about. And some of the symptoms that can include in this disorder are fast heartbeat, chest and stomach pain, sweating, and difficulty breathing. All right, and which panic disorder, it can happen at any time, anywhere, and there's no warning. So, if somebody who suffers from panic disorder they can just, out of the blue, just have a panic disorder, and, no one can see it coming. All right, so the next disorder we'll go over is post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD. All right, so this is a stress disorder that happens when someone has seen or experienced a dramatic event in their life. So it can be if somebody has experienced a sexual assault, abuse during their life, or even being in a hurricane. This disorder can affect this disorder. So when you have this, it makes you feel stressed or afraid after the danger is over. So a lot of people that were in the military, they suffered from PTSD because of the traumatic events they saw while they were in war. All right, some of the symptoms that can happen in this are flashbacks to the dramatic event, feeling alone, and angry outbursts. And PTSD, it starts at a different time for people. So if somebody experiences the dramatic event, it might take them a long time to get PTSD, or it can happen, right after it happens. All right. So the next disorder we're going to go over is obsessive compulsive disorder, also known as OCD. And you might have heard of this disorder before. It's frequent upsetting thoughts called obsessions, and overwhelming urges to repeat certain rituals or behaviors known as compulsives. All right. So examples of some obsessions are fear of germs, fear of being hurt, and some examples of compulsions are washing your hands frequently, or always clean all the time. Some people have OCD might be clean freaks. It's just that's how they are. All right, so now that we have learned about some of the disorders and some of their symptoms, we're going to talk about strategies for seeking help for these disorders. All right, so the first thing that you should do if, when dealing with these disorders is talking to someone and letting them know that you have this disorder, or know someone who has this disorder. So you can talking to someone at first and let them know that you have the problem or someone else has the problem is important. So you can talk to a guidance counselor, a parent, or a good friend, or you can even come to your health coach and talk about it. These are disorders that you can control. So these are not uncontrollable disorders. All right, so after you talk to somebody and tell them that you have this disorder, you need to seek professional help. Or, go to a doctor or go to a psychologist and talk to them. You don't need to, go talk to just a random person or a parent and tell them about this. You need to talk to a professional who knows what they're talking about and can diagnose you and help you with the right treatment. All right, and then when you talk to them, after that, you can learn to cope with the stress. All right, you have to cope with the stress in a positive way. Like I said at the beginning of the lesson, stress is a main factor in what causes these disorders. Dealing with the stress is what's important, and how you deal with the stress, you can do it in many ways. You can do it by using physical activity. Go run if you're feeling really stressed. Go run. Go ride your bike, or you can do a hobby that you like. Go play basketball. Go play a video game. Those are ways you can deal with the stress. And when you deal with the stress, then that's going to help you with the disorder, and it's not going to make it as bad. All right, so now that we've went over help-seeking strategies for the disorders, I want to pass out these papers, all right? And they have situations on them, and I'm going to put you into groups, all right? I'm going to pass out your assignment, and your assignment is going to have a situation. It's going to have somebody, and it's going to have a situation of a disorder, and you and your group are going to have to tell me what this person is suffering from, what disorder, how what are the symptoms that he is showing to show that he has disorder, and what would you tell this person to do if you could talk to them? What would you tell them to do, and how could they treat this disorder? All right, so I'm gonna pass out your assignment. All right, so now everybody has done it. We're gonna have a class discussion. All right, we're gonna have a class discussion about the assignment. All right, so class discussion. All right, so I think we did a good job today learning about the disorder, and I think we learned a lot, and you guys had some good ideas about what to do when people have these disorders and what to tell them. All right, so have that in mind as you go out in the real world, because these are real world disorders. So if you go in your next class, you notice somebody's looking like they're depressed, or your friend is not acting as normal, take in mind what we went through today in class, so you can apply this in the real world. All right, so take that, and coming into next class we will go more over it. All right, see you guys next time.